Today on the channel, I got my wife Angie with me once again as we're diving through the Jakks Class Superstars collection, and this is video number 2. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a continuing video series here, as this is video number 2 for those of you guys keeping track at home, as we're diving through the recently picked up Jakks Classic Superstars collection here today. And I got a special guest today. I'm Pat Sajak, and this is my Vanna White. My wife, Angie. She is nice enough to come back and visit us on the channel. I'm passing things off, and she's helping me. And of course, this collection, a lot of people are saying, Kyle, why did you buy this? You're probably thinking that yourself. Kyle, why did you buy this? Well, I have my reasons. I got my reasons, and they'll all come clear in the next weeks, months, maybe even a year. We'll see, but it'll be on the channel. Of course, we're going to unbox some of these. Some of these I needed for my personal collection, and some of these I will be selling as well on the newly launched Patreon. So if you haven't checked the Patreon out, link in the description below. I will be giving these, the ones I'm selling, first dibs to the Patreon members. Like my wife, she is the first Patreon member. Actually, you've never even been to the site, have you, ever once? She's not even a member, never went, wouldn't even be able to tell you how to get there. But she's a great supporter. What can we say? She supports the madness in her own ways, just not the Patreon ways, and that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. So that's what we're doing here, and we're going to go through one by one. A lot of people say, Kyle, go through this on camera. I'd love to see this. So that's what we're going to do. And I did, of course, go through these, but I didn't go through all of them. So this is sometimes I'm seeing this for the first time myself, definitely seeing it for the first time here. Angie and I, though, she goes way back to the Classic Superstars days. We talked about Series 1. She was there. We were newly dating. We were right in the thick of it. We were hitting all the Kmarts, the Targets, the Walmarts, the Toys R Us's, the toy shows, and other places in between. And we were hitting these up, finding these, and having a lot of fun back in the day. Just memories I'll never forget. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you too, I'm sure. Yeah, she loved every bit of it. She loved being drugged to toy stores. Oh, yeah, it was a great time. But we're going to go through these one by one. We're going to talk about it. If Angie's got any comments, you can chime in with whatever you want. Maybe there'll be some HBKs in here, and we can see if you'd want to go on a date with them or not. Who knows? So let's jump in to Angie's favorite wrestler, the Brooklyn Brawler. Yes, the Brooklyn Brawler, a favorite of Angie. Have you ever heard of the Brooklyn Brawler? No, she never even heard of him. But old Steve Lombardi, he travels well. But yeah, the Brooklyn Brawler, a solid one. One we'd like to see with Mattel one day. Hopefully that does happen. But you know what's not easy, Angie?
Being you.
Pimpin' isn't easy. Yeah, pimpin's not easy. And that's what the Godfather told me many years ago. Godfather in the Classic Superstars series. Series 9, a fabulous one. We got Papa Shango and the Godfather. I don't know if you were aware, they are the same person. Did you know that? And I remember you and I went and saw the Godfather at a local wrestling show, and it was a very rainy day, and you waited in the car for Elle and I went outside briefly. Never forget that story of meeting the Godfather. Sounds about right. She waited in the car. Held the fort. I'll hold the fort down. I don't need to get wet. I don't blame you. How about this one? Killer Kowalski, probably your all-time favorite wrestler when the rubber hits the road, right? Nah, maybe not. Killer Kowalski there, an old time, of course, known for training Triple H, plus many other wrestlers. Remember our old friend Perry Saturn? Mm-hmm. Perry Saturn was trained by Killer Kowalski. Mm-hmm. So there you go. And Perry Saturn actually babysit our daughter Emma, or Elle. It was Elle. He babysitted Elle back in the day, and we even had a picture of that. So it was great to see old Perry Saturn, one of the true nice guys in wrestling, at least during that time frame. So there you go. How about another one? Wrestling version of Gorilla Monsoon. Now, we did show the announcer one in video 1. This is the wrestling version. Most people do not think of him in wrestling gear. I would love to see a Mattel run this one back and get a big Gorilla Monsoon. Just a fabulous figure. Really cool in the Classic Superstars line, I always thought. And then one of your favorite vacation destinations. We've been twice, I believe, over the years. We went for spring break in like 2011, and I think we went in maybe 2008, summertime. Mm-hmm. Very hot that time of year. And of course, we're talking about Uganda. Ugandan giant Kamala. One of our favorite travel destinations. If you've never been to Uganda, beautiful this time of year. Just beautiful year-round. Just a great time. And Ugandan Kamala, Ugandan giant, a classic there. Face paint, doing it all. A guy in a skirt, you gotta love it. A lot to love. And you know what else a lot to love is Asbury Park, New Jersey. No, not Bruce Springsteen. Bam Bam Bigelow. We love Bam Bam Bigelow. One of the all-time great big men. I put him right up there with Vader, of course, as some of the greatest big men of all time, and plenty others as well. But Bam Bam, absolutely love him. I'm here for it all day long. Now we're going to take a look at one of the all-time greats from when I was a kid. Barry Windham, very, very underrated. His time when he joined the Horsemen, that early 90s thing, I truly think he was the best wrestler in the world at the time. And I love me some Barry Windham. Still love Barry Windham to this day. So old Barry Windham. Now we talked about The Godfather. Now we take a trip to Papa Shango. Oh, watch out for Papa Shango. Nightmare fuel for some kids. Do you remember when he made the Ultimate Warrior puke? I'll never forget the Ultimate Warrior puking everywhere at Papa Shango, and ooh, I was hot. Ooh, I was hot at that voodoo man.
So he cursed him?
Yeah, he cursed him, and Warrior shot up some black goo. It was a mess. It was a mess in the back. But yeah, not good because Warrior steamrolled him later, as he should.
I'm sure that was really nasty for him to hold in his mouth for.
I don't know how they did it, but here's one. Do you remember Sabu at all? Sabu, ECW original, one of the all-time greats. Love me some Sabu. I love the scars on this figure as well. Just beautiful figure. Can't wait to get the Cella Toys Sabu sometime in 2022. But very, very cool to get a Sabu figure. And another one here that we absolutely love, old Mr. Perfect. Hit the gum spit for him for old time's sake. You know we all do that when we have gum. We got to do the Mr. Perfect impression. Why wouldn't you? How about some more face paint? Yes, face paint. Hold that one up. I'll get the other one here. As we all know, the famed Ultimate Warrior Series 12. Front package, back package. Absolutely cool. I remember seeing this and not knowing. That was the beauty at the time. There wasn't all the spoilers, and we didn't know what was coming. And we didn't necessarily know this was happening, if this is a one-off air or what. I believe they were probably packed about the same or pretty close, but I think this one is a little bit rarer, but it's very cool. It shows the back of the design. You get both versions of the Warrior.
That's good.
Absolutely love it.
She's a little sun damaged.
Yeah, that one's a little yellow.
She's a little yellow.
It's depressing. I don't like yellow figures. Nobody does. Perfect opener, though. Yeah. And if you're like me, you love the mint Jakks openers. You got to open them yourself at the end of the day. And when was the last time you opened a wrestling figure? I just I never let you have the fun. I take all the fun for me. I'm so selfish. So selfish.
I'm just glad there's no smoke.
Yes.
It's all smoke-free. It smells
smoke-free, good.
Great.
Animal. Hawk and Animal. One of the all-time disappointing animal figures of all time. Doesn't match Hawk, which was just a travesty. One of the greatest blunders Jakks Classic Superstars ever did right there. All right, moving on. Now we move on to the Hulkster, and unfortunately his glasses fell down on him a little bit. They were supposed to be there, so that's a tough one. Fell out, might be an opener. We'll see. I believe I already have two of those, so that one will be for sale, but it'll be a perfect opener for somebody out there. NWO Hollywood Hogan. I got to think the value of this one might it's either going to rise or go down because Mattel is releasing a version. So some people want to have both versions together, but a very, very solid one. I did love when this came out back in the day. I thought that was a very, very solid figure. Holds up all these years later. You love old Terry Hulk Hogan, don't you?
Did he just get divorced again?
I heard he did. What are we doing, Terry? What are we doing? Oh, the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko, a favorite of my teen years, my Nitro days. Love me some Dean Malenko, one of the all-time greats. Unfortunately, he has Parkinson's now. Oh. Let's bring the air to the room. Let's just bring it out. Let's talk Parkinson's. But yeah, love Dean Malenko, working for AEW currently. So, old Dean Malenko, legendary Malenko. How about this one? I can't talk.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 kid.
You know about the 1, 2, 3 kid, right? What's your favorite memory? the diaper match. Did you like that with the baby bottle? That was a classic against Razor. I did recently just pick up a minty version of this. Got to get a deal out there. I got it for $1 loose mint. So I will be selling this one because I needed a loose one, needed one on card. Got it for $1. Got to get a deal. You got it. When I say that to you all the time, don't I? Did you get a deal? Got to get a deal. Wheeling and dealing. Got to. How about this one? So this is another one of those variants. Let's see if Angie can tell the difference between the two.
Good. The pressure.
Paul Bearer.
The tie.
Okay, so we got a bow tie edition and we got a tie edition. So I just recently, about a year ago, I did grab the bow tie one, I think it was, because I already had this one. And I said, it was like $12 at a toy show or something like that. I said, you know what, I'll get it for that. So now I got doubles of these. But there it is. Oh, rip. That's going to be an opener. I do need an open one, so that'll be my opener, unfortunately. So there it is.
His face.
Paul Bearer, man, he was always Percy Pringle to me. When I was a kid growing up, he was Percy Pringle. And then he came to Paul Bearer. I'm like, what is Percy doing? His hair's not blonde anymore. Oh my goodness. How about Captain Lou Albano? Or for some people, Super Mario.
I like that shirt.
Oh, that is a good shirt. That looks like a shirt I would have worn back like 2006 or so. Or on the golf course. Captain Lou was Super Mario as well. Was with Cyndi Lauper. Any Captain Lou memories for you? No. Did you ever watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show? No. What cartoons did you watch when you were a kid? Anything? SpongeBob. Yeah, you are like 22. Oh, how about this one? You know about him, don't you?
Yes.
All-time favorite. Ken Shamrock, the MMA legend, wrestling legend. Legend. Hall of Famer. Should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Hopefully he will soon. Love Ken Shamrock. This year, remember this summer, Elle and I went and met Ken Shamrock for the first time ever. And it was like two brothers, long-lost brothers, really. I said, Ken, and we about hugged it out. There's a picture right before we were going to embrace, and it was one of the tightest embraces I've ever had. He just held me, and I put my head on his shoulder. Oh, Ken, I loved it. I love Ken Shamrock. So underrated. Speaking of underrated, Bruno Sammartino. Yes, a legend back in the day, of course, and I think, unfortunately, like we see with Bruno is getting there, but the Luthezes, the Gagne, Vern Gagne, of course, kind of forgotten as the newer generation comes up. You know, the newer generation watches wrestling. They don't have time for these old timers and different slow style things like that. Have you ever heard of Bruno Sammartino? You love his hairy thighs. Yeah, they got the hairy thighs.
They did do a good job on
They
that.
did. I wish it was
realistic.
I wish it was real hair though. I love the real hair on thighs.
So gross.
Oh, here's another one of your favorites. Dusty Rhodes. Not the polka dot Dusty, though, unfortunately, but a favorite nonetheless. We got Dusty, Cowboy Dusty, Outlaw Dusty.
I'm just glad the figure's not Dusty.
Yeah, good. I saw what you did there. A little bit yellow on that AA figure. That's unfortunate, but I think I need a loose version of him. But Arn Anderson, I feel bad for Arn Anderson. He's on AEW, and I love him and Tully on there. But now that Cody's not there, it's like he took a notch down. So I need more Arn Anderson in my life. AA. We all do.
We all need a little AA.
Now, here's one that I don't enjoy seeing, and we just did it last week. We went and took a journey to the IRS. We saw the tax man, and it's tax season. Get your taxes done, people. It's always a sad day. I remember the days when we were young, we used to get the big rebates, and we'd celebrate. Oh, yeah. But, you know, at the end of the day, they always say, you really want to break even. You should get just a little bit more back or just owe a little bit. That's really the key, because you don't want the government sitting on your money. It's like Super 7 toys. They pre-order a year out. You don't want them sitting on your money, and that's what the IRS does. So if you're getting a huge return at the end of the year, this is Kyle's tax tip time. We should bring my dad in for this. He's my money manager. My dad knows this stuff more than I do. But you don't want them sitting on your money. You want to break even, or you want to just owe a little bit, or just get paid back just a little bit. Words to live by. Free pro tip.
He wonders why these are running so long, these videos.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I get going. I get fired up. Rick Steiner, another travesty of the classic superstars. Can you name Rick Steiner's brother? Rick and Steiner.
Morty.
Rick and Morty Steiner. Oh, man. Rick and Morty. No, Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump.
Yeah.
Yes, but I wish we would have got a Scott Steiner to match this. Man, one of the all-time misses for whatever reason. Rumors are, and by the time this video launches, guess what? They might be going in the WWE Hall of Fame. There's a lot of rumors they're going to be in the class of 2022. And then I'm sure you knew this. I'm sad to cut you off because I'm sure you were going to tell me this. But of course, his son now wrestles in NXT as Braun Breaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I'm sorry I cut you off, but you know, I just had to get it out.
Kyle used to have this facial hair too.
I did. I've ran the gamut of styles. Just a style icon. And now a natural beauty.
Funny.
That's a good one. Is that how you're going to look when you're about 70?
Probably.
You're going to wear a fancy bedazzled coat like that? Oh, fabulous Moolah. She's very fabulous. And that's all I need to say about that. But now we get to Big Daddy Cool once again. We've already seen one. Now we get a second one. Old Diesel. Big Daddy Cool Diesel. I was going to do a top 5 favorite Diesel figures, but then I said, wait, I better wait until that Ultimate Edition comes out this summer, and then I'll do it. So stay tuned. Sometime this summer, we're going to do a top 5 Diesel of all time. That's probably your number one, I'm sure.
I wish my hair had that much volume.
Oh, a lot of volume. You know, they all called him Big Sexy. That's his nickname, Big Sexy. Oh, there it is. Another Mount Rushmore favorite of mine, the old Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Absolutely love that. That's from his first title win over Harley Race. Beautiful time. What a time to be alive that was. I think I was 2 years old, maybe 1 or 2. You were negative. You weren't even close to being born yet. So what a time. Ric Flair, champion. All right, from one champion to another champion, Rocky Maivia. Now, do you remember that version of The Rock at all?
Yeah.
You do? Were you watching a lot of wrestling in 1996?
No, maybe not.
No,
it
she
looks
doesn't.
familiar.
You've probably seen the figure before.
Yeah.
You were probably hot on the hunt with me at a local Kmart. I believe we were finding that set at Kmart for the first time. That's probably why I said, we've got to find this Rocky Maivia. We have to. But obviously, probably good for him that he didn't stick in that gimmick. I don't know if he'd be where he is now if he would have stuck with that look. But you never know. Stranger things, guess what? They have happened. Now, every once in a while, we talked about Uganda, our favorite destination for vacation. Another favorite of ours is deepest, darkest Africa, and that's where Akeem came from, the African dream.
Yes.
Akeem, never forget, a beauty there. Also known as the One-Man Gang. Did you know that? That was his other. We saw One-Man Gang early, same guy.
I feel like this is actually a heavier figure than the rest.
It is a heavy one. He's a big boy, Akeem. He's a good-looking guy. I love Akeem. Very, very underrated big man. One of the most underrated big men of all time. Put Akeem, One-Man Gang in the Hall of Fame. Definitely deserved. I love those big guys. Now we talked about tag team tragedies. We talked about Animal earlier. Now we're at Hawk from Series 9. Mm-hmm. We should have got Animal of this. This is one of the all-time greatest looks for the Legion of Doom. The Road Warriors, of course. Old school Black Sabbath, Iron Man style LOD. And we didn't get a matching Animal. It eats me away at night. You know, I haven't been able to sleep lately, and that's probably one of the reasons why. I just sit at night and say, why didn't they give us Animal in that Hawk attire? Ugh! One of these days, maybe. Who knows? But Hawk, love that. Another brother in paint. And as we all know, Angie loves a little face paint. And I'm going to put some on later. But Angie, will you be my Valentine? My Greg Valentine? Oh, the Hammer Greg Valentine. One of the most boring wrestlers of all time. I got to be honest. I was never a big Greg Valentine fan. My favorite Greg Valentine moment was his feud with Rugged Ronnie Garvin. When Ronnie was a referee. I'm sure you remember that back from the mid-'80s. You were only maybe a year or two old, but I'm sure you were loving it. Like McDonald's back in the day, loving it. How about a little Boogie Woogie? You want to cut a rug with the Boogie Woogie man, Jimmy Valiant? I think what was his wife's name? Like Big Mama? I think that was her name. You could be the Big Mama to my Jimmy Boogie Woogie, handsome Jimmy Valiant. My Big Mama over here, Angie. There it is. How about a little tag team action? Jerry Sags, Brian Knobs, Nasty Boys. Yes, as nasty as they want to be. Very underrated tag team, especially the WCW matches. Halloween Havoc versus the Steiner brothers. We'll never forget that one. Angie, one of her favorite tag matches of all time. Love the Nasty Boys. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. Both of them. Part of the card collection there where you can send in and get your mail away Hulk Hogan. Oh, what a time. And speaking of Hulk Hogan, what a segue that was. The Hulkster, once again, just looking only like he could look if he was in Angie's hand right now in this video. That's how he'd look. But you got the Hulkster. Living large, living strong, living free, running wild.
The upkeep on that bleach.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. And then finally, the last one for this tub. Old handsome Harley Race, an old friend of ours. Met him many a time over the years. Me and Harley, old friends, Harley and I. It's sad to see him pass, but one of the toughest guys of all time, as we know. Mm-hmm. So there it is, another tub down. Angie, let's do another one.
All right. Are you guys ready for round number 2?
I'm ready for round number 2. You're in luck. All right, let's kick it off. Let's go round number 2. Oh, he's Psycho. He's Psycho Sid. It looks weird. Psycho with an S like that.
Without the P.
I always think it should have a P with it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know my spelling, I guess. But Psycho Sid. There's 2 versions of him. I believe there's one with knee pads, one without, maybe.
This one has knee pads.
That one has knee pads. So we'll be on the lookout if we can find one with no knee pads. We'll see. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Unfortunately, she's sitting in jail right now. Oh my God. But Sunny, of course, every young man's dream back there in the mid-'90s or so. Love some Sunny. Even Angie loved some Sunny, I think. Sunny days, nothing like them. But poor Sunny sitting in jail somewhere right now. So hopefully she gets out soon. Maybe she'll like to check out this video one day. We'll see. Oh, this one could be my favorite. This could be my favorite classic Superstars Ultimate Warrior. Just, it's something about Warrior and just like the white, it's like not as bright and colorful as normal. It makes it extra special. And of course, I already have like 3 of these, so I'll have to sell this one, unfortunately. It's always a sad day when a Warrior leaves my house. I always feel like I should just keep them all, but you can't army build Warriors. So it is what it is.
It's looking very Hawkeye.
It's a beautiful one. Beautiful. I don't know about the Hawkeye part. How about this one? Another favorite of mine. I'll be selling this guy, unfortunately, but the Repo Man. Love the Repo Man. Another guy we'd love to have in a Mattel Elite one of these days. A little known fact, Demolition Smash under a different gimmick. Took off the face paint and decided to repossess cars. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Oh, there's another one now. Do you remember his son? It's Rocky Johnson. Some might call him the Soul Man. I wouldn't, but some would. The Soul Man, Rocky Johnson, father of The Rock, of course. So there you go. Oh, hello, ladies. Does that get your engine revving? Val Venus, a favorite of yours. You always wanted to meet Val. Or maybe not. Have you ever heard of him? You never even heard of Val Venus. Get out of here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, hold on to that one. We got two.
Exactly the same.
What are we doing? We got two Val Venuses for whatever reason. I do need an opener here, so I guess I got one to sell, one to open. This one's a little bit damaged on the old star. You never know. These stars were the bane of your existence sometimes. They'd get damaged. There's nothing worse. This one's all beat up, so that's definitely the opener. So two Val Venuses for whatever reason. Here's another underrated one. Old Ken Patera, the world's strongest man at one time. AWA legend, of course. We met him at Hall of Fame. You don't remember it, but I did. And just don't talk about McDonald's with him.
Why?
Don't want to start that story. We don't want to talk about it. You don't want to hear that story. Anyways, moving on. Here's one of your favorites. Eddie Guerrero, a very classic one. That's one of the 10100s I am missing as well. I had a hard negotiation with that a few years ago, and it fell through, and unfortunately, I never did own the 1 of 100 Eddie Guerrero. I'm your Poppy edition. So there it is. How about this one? Triple H, the LJN ones, of course. These things are usually a sticky mess. Do you know anything about the Jakks sticky disease? You do know about it?
I've tried to clean a few.
Oh, that's right. I guess you have. You just hate sticky substances, especially on your wrestling figures. I don't blame you.
Giving wrestlers baths.
It's fun.
I wonder what I'm doing.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. How about good old Jim Ross? You remember Jim Ross? Him and I have had a few talks over the years about barbecue sauce. Of course, me being a grocery industry legend in some circles, signing autographs sometimes, you know. JR and I have talked grocery business about his sauce. I think he could do even more. I think he's missing the boat on some things, but who am I to judge? But there it is. Old JR.
Does he make that seasoning?
He does. I love his seasoning. And here's a sleeper tip. What do I like to do with that seasoning? What do I put it on? I put it on my frozen pizza. It's an amazing compliment with the Parmesan cheese, of course, the cracked red pepper. When we're talking frozen pizza on the Patreon, we do put a little dash of that JR seasoning on there just to take it up a notch. How about Rikishi? I'm not a big fan of those figures of Rikishi style. Made him way too big, too fat. Just a little bit obsessive there on old Rikishi, I felt. Oh, here it is, round 2 here. It's time to get Psycho once again, and I was exactly right. Psycho Sid. No knee pads and regular knee pad version. So we got 2 versions of Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid looking only like he could look. You know, he loves softball. And did you know he stabbed Arn Anderson with a pair of scissors? Yes, he did. A pair of scissors. Crazy times. Oh, there's X-Pac. That's one I have loose already, so I'll be selling that X-Pac. He just came out of retirement. Did you know that? Now you know. Now you know. Finding out things every day. Here's another opener. It's unfortunately pretty damaged, so it's a good opener there. Who is it?
Vince McMahon.
It's Vince McMahon, Angie's all-time favorite owner of the WWE. Sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, I feel,
Looks like a pilot.
There's been a lot of crazy weather in our area lately. It was like 70 degrees a couple days ago. Then we had tornadoes not too far from where we were. Luckily, we're all okay. We lived, but 7 people died in that tornado. Yeah, 7 people did. 7 people died in that tornado.
Why am I laughing?
We were caught up almost in that. And then we had like 3 inches of snow. And now we're at like 50s, and then it's going to snow like 4 inches in a couple of days, and then it's going to be back up to 60. So the weather's all over the place. But long story short, we're just very lucky we don't have a typhoon coming our way. That was it took a long way to get, it took a long time to get there. I brought it full circle, but it took a while. But typhoon, you know who a typhoon used to be?
No.
Tugboat. And you say, I don't know who Tugboat is, but my stepmom, Tammy, her favorite wrestler when I was a kid, Tugboat.
Oh, gosh.
There you go. The more you know. Stone Cold Steve Austin, will he be coming out of retirement? There's rumors. He'll be at WrestleMania this year wrestling. There's rumors. Very cool. Stone Cold Steve Austin, there he is. I prefer Stunning Steve. I'm one of the rare ones, but I did love him as Stunning Steve Austin.
The image on the back looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
It's better on the...
It's better. How about this one? What do you think about that shirt?
Love it.
The Rock. I don't even know if I ever wore a shirt like that. I used to have that one really crazy one I'd wear it at Christmas parties. So it's kind of like that, but a little different. But The Rock, Nation of Domination version, of course. Of course. He's cool. He's cocky. He's bad. He is the Honky Tonk Man. We've seen him in blue. We've seen him in black. Now we get him in all of his glory, his angelic white. We love the Honky Tonk Man. I'm not a big autograph figure guy, as you probably don't know, but I am not a autograph figure guy, but I would like a Honky Tonk Man autograph figure one day. He's one of the few that would make my list. I love me some Honky Tonk Man. There you go. We got X-Pac again, and I think there was a difference with that one. It was another accessory difference. So you got it right there. You got it handy. Is there any difference? Oh, what are we doing? Oh, the title belt. So this is one of those variants.
High low or something.
Look at the title belt on that. So one is higher, one is lower. That is the difference. That's where I don't think you got to count it all. I mean, that's pretty obsessive to count that, I would say. But that is the difference. Not a whole lot. Oh, one of the all-time greatest Polish wrestlers of all time. We love Polish sausage, Polish wrestlers.
Polish people.
We love Polish people especially. Ivan Putski, legendary. Watch out for that Polish hammer; it'll knock you out. I've seen that happen.
It is very pointy.
He is. He was chiseled out of granite. He was like a Batista before Batista back in the day. There wasn't big ripped up guys back then. And Ivan Putski was one taking it to the next level. Here's one Now I love face paint. I love masks. I love my wife. I love Kane. That sounds good. But a good Kane. I don't hate this Kane figure. Some people don't like it a lot, but it's one of those ones that came in the Classic Superstars. It didn't feel totally classic at the time. All these years later, definitely fits in the Classic Superstars line. So Kane comes with his patented fire extinguisher and urn. So you get a little bit of fun. I think that's it. I feel like we did him before. Maybe we didn't. King Mabel. You remember King Mabel?
Oh, yeah.
Did we do him? I don't
I
remember. But we got King Mabel. There it is. And then, one thing I've always liked, I've never been shy about, is beautiful women.
Is this Meg?
Beautiful. Oh, easy on Mae Young.
So disheveled, I threw her.
Yes, you love that. You love that segue. I love beautiful women, and not many more beautiful than you, of course, but Mae Young, a natural beauty as well, all the way to the end. She gave birth to a hand live on Raw once.
Oh my God.
Did you ever see that episode? She had Mark Henry's hand. It was amazing. I've never seen an 80-year-old woman give birth to a hand, but she did.
Wow.
God bless her. She's dead. She's dead now.
I figured.
She's dead. How about a little Nature Boy, Ric Flair? LJN-inspired Ric Flair. Always a classic. Always a good one there.
Ooh,
there it is. The old Nature Boy, Ric Flair, doing it just like he does. And just broke up with his... I guess they were married, weren't they? I think he just got like his 6th divorce or something like that. So now we got to be careful that Ric Flair doesn't come here and steal you away. Because he would. He would steal me away. I'm sure if he could steal me away, he could steal you away. Now we got another one. How about this one? Shane McMahon times 2. Oh. Yes, 2 Shane McMahons. Now I'll say this. You were going to say it, but I'll cut in once again. If you remember the Ruthless Aggression style figures, the final series release was the pay-per-view series, and this exact figure was in there. So it was in that and Classic. So if you get it loose, you're not really sure. But the differences on this one is the centering of the name on the shirt.
Stop.
It's just a little off-centered on this one. That's more centered. That's where I don't count that as a crazy variant. Yes, it's a variant, but that's a whole nother level of crazy if you ask me. So there's Shane McMahon. Oh, we're at the home stretch right here. Home stretch. Who do we got? Oh, your boyfriend. Now, what if he came to you like that? Like Angie.
Oh, my God.
Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. Now, this is a very famous one because we're getting a Mattel Ultimate Edition of this very outfit here in 2022. Ooh. So hopefully you'll contain your excitement, because I know you'll want one of those for the bedroom upstairs on your dresser. But there's old Shawn Michaels. There he is. Now business is picking up, and I wish my dad was here for this part. He would absolutely love this, and he, of course, already has these figures, but he pops every time they come. And who do we got here? The Barbarian. Oh, and you can't have the Barbarian without his Powers of Pain partner. You know who we're talking about. You know who his partner is? Barbarian and...
Warlord.
Oh, she got it! Barbarian and the Warlord. Good for her. We got the Warlord right there. The Powers of Pain, running wild, running free. You personally love my collection of these. I have a loose set with third-party custom goods. The fur, you got to have fur on your Powers of Pain. Just fabulous, fabulous. Bonus points if you can name their manager. I'll take you out to a fancy dinner, wherever you want to go.
I don't know.
Lucky for me, she didn't know about Mr. Fuji. Well, we got 2 final ones, and we've talked about my love for face paint.
Yes.
We've talked about my love for masks. We've talked about my love for you, and now we're going to talk about my love for hairy bipedal creatures. Now, as long as you've known me, I've been obsessed with Bigfoot. And remember Beowulf? Remember the great Beowulf adventure up in Wisconsin? Elkhorn, Wisconsin, home of the Beowulf. And then there was that Monster Quest on History Channel, and it just broke my heart. The guy that like phonied the whole thing announced it there, and just absolutely, you could see my heart breaking. I was devastated because I just love a good werewolf. You guys know I love hairy bipedal creatures. Long story short, we're going to hairy bipedal creature that's a giant. We're going to Giant Gonzalez. Oh, man. Some people hate him, but I absolutely love Giant Gonzalez. When he was Elegante as a kid in WCW, I was all about, this guy's 7'7". I know he couldn't wrestle. He could barely walk. He was confined to a wheelchair. He was signed by the Atlanta Hawks, of course, and didn't pan out. So they said, let's put him into the wrestling ring. But old Jorge, Giant Gonzalez, we're going to see him again. And we're going to see him again right now, as we do have the very, very rare 1 of 500 version of Giant Gonzalez.
Real hair, probably.
Real hair diaper on him. He's got a real hair diaper. Very, very awesome figure here. Now, I did get this a couple years back for like $50. Right before the COVID price increase on this stuff, I said, you know what? $50, I'll do that. I'm so glad I did, because this is hundreds of dollar figure now. Now I have 2 of these. I am not a maniac to the point I'm going to open this up, though. I'm not. I'm going to leave this in here. I'll probably sell this. It's going to be tough for me to part with this guy, but I will be selling this. But I'll probably keep the case for myself. These cases are hard to get, but that's neither here nor there. But both versions of Giant Gonzalez, and somewhere in these videos of going through these classics, we're going to have another one that we'll talk about as well. So there's more hairy bipedal goodness to come our way very, very soon, Angie. So it's exciting times. So that's it for this video. We've went on long enough. Many, many more in this series. This is video number 2, I believe, is where we're cutting this one off.
We're cutting this off already?
We're cutting it off. Can you take any more excitement, though? We got to take little breaks. It's just, you're just so excited. I can feel it coming off you. We'll take care of that later. But let's wrap this one up, and we'll be back with another one. Of course, in the meantime, Angie, you know where to find us. Do you know where to find me on social media?
I know.
What's the Twitter?
Oh, God, I don't know.
You can find me on Twitter at SirPaul64. Do you know where to find me on Instagram? Do you follow me on Instagram?
Yes.
She blocked me. It's terrible. She didn't like all my posts. _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. Of course, patreon.com. Link in the description below if you like this kind of stuff. Angie is thinking about doing her own video series of an unboxing once a month. She might not know anything about it, but we might just do it. So it'd be a good Patreon exclusive for only the insiders, I think. That'd be a good one to do. So we'll talk about that one off camera a little bit. But you can find me on Patreon. You can find us on Patreon. You can support the channel, of course. You can also go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, pick up a t-shirt. Most of your wardrobe is my t-shirts, if I believe right. So go there, support the channel. Angie, I don't know if you want to plug your Instagram. Do you want people to follow you on Instagram? No, she doesn't want anybody. Unless you want makeup tips.
I don't post anything.
But anyways, for all that stuff, support the channel, follow. Thank you guys for watching. And for me, Kyle.
Me, Angie.
That's Jakks Class Superstars Part 2. We'll be back with Part 3.